to another episode, or should I say the final episode of NRR Season 1. And in today's episode, we'll be reviewing the 2020 season finale 500. What a name. But yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah, and Chase Elliott is your 2020 champion with just 11 wins and his first ever try in the championship four. And it's the first time Chevrolet has won a championship since that man, Jimmie Johnson. And here's something weird. Jimmie Johnson had to start at the rear to get his championship back in 2016. Same thing with Chase Elliott. History remaking itself. That is crazy. But yeah, in today's one, we're going to be reviewing, the top 10 finishers. We're going to rate the race. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit of our champion, Chase Elliott, and some new things heading into 2020. And I'll be telling you guys what my schedule looks like in the future. And yeah, today's going to be a bit of a Jimmie Johnson tribute, since this is his final race as a full-time NASCAR driver. So I'm going to show you guys this. Whoa. There we go. These are the Jimmie Johnson cars plus the 2020 Ally car I have over there that I have with Jimmie Johnson. Got his, his 48 Power of Pride. Then you got 2016, his Lowe's, his Cobalt. Then you got Superman, the 2017 Lowe's and Cobalt. And then 2018, where the 48 Dynasty took a dip down, Lowe's for Pros, and you got Jimmie Johnson Foundation that he ran in Kentucky in 2018. Then you got Jimmie's 2019 Ally car, and then his Throwback, which is one of the best. And then, I got Jimmie Johnson's 2020 car. But I should be getting some future Jimmie Johnson cars in the future, so we'll just watch out for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and, look at our top 10 finishers of the race. Finishing in first was Chase Elliott, and, back there I got Jimmie Johnson's car. I'm going to have them, for the rest of the top 10, but like I said, finishing first was Chase Elliott. When I saw him take the checker flag, I was just kind of lost for words. I just could not believe it. The season where he has the most wins in his career in a single season, which is 5 this year, a championship, and only 11 wins. I mean, the third youngest champion, 24 years old. That's just unreal. And you have to give some credit to Alan Gustafson. He's now a championship crew chief, and and he really deserved it. Like, I just can't really say enough about Chase Elliott. Like, I felt like they took some really big strides this year, and last week was a huge one for them just to make it into this race. And then to come out of that with a win and a shot to come to today to have a chance to race is unbelievable for them. Like I don't even know what to say about that. Like once again, this is all unreal because I saw Joey. He was pretty loose when Chase Elliott was up there battling with him, and I felt like that Chase needed to get to him while he could, just to take the advantage and just take the lead away from Joey Lagano, and just when I still think about it, it's just unbelievable. Now this is a champion, so he's gonna be the leading driver at Hendrick Motorsports. He's gonna be the leader because he has a championship and Larson doesn't. I mean, just like 6 years ago he got his Xfinity Series champion. 6 years later he's a Cup Series champion. I mean, come on. And only his 5th season and his first try at a championship 4 appearance. That's just crazy. Like, I mean, I just never would have thought this year would have gone like it has. I mean, NASCAR Cup Series champion, like, are you kidding me? It's just unreal, especially with having, Chase Elliott, going from Chase Elliott flipping off Kyle Busch at Darlington earlier this year, then the Chase Elliott, taking a bow in the Truck Series race, and then Chase Elliott winning the Charlotte 310 race, and then, winning the Daytona Road Course, winning the Charlotte Roval, winning, Martinsville, and getting into here where he is right now is just unbelievable for Chase Elliott. So once again, congratulations to Chase Elliott. Also, I heard him and Jimmie Johnson will be running the Rolex 24 at Daytona. I can't wait to see that in 2021 in January. But yeah, happy for Chase Elliott, and let's see if he can defend his title next year, as that will be the final year of the Gen 6 car. So yeah, once again, congratulations to Chase Elliott and the 9 team. Finishing in second was Brad Kazowski. For Brad Kazowski, I bet he would have loved to have a late race yellow for sure, but, I thought they were pretty fast there at the end. Like, it's just tough for them. Like, they got behind there with some track position, and, Kazowski fought really hard to get it back, and and they just didn't get it all, but they got most of it. They were right there, with their car, and just came up one spot short. Like, I would have liked to, like, I bet Kazowski would have liked to have one of those late race yellows like we saw in the truck race and the Xfinity race in the last couple of days. And I thought Kazowski was pretty good there and just didn't have the track position to make it show. And I knew they had a good shot at the end of the second stage, and they just couldn't keep it up in a spot to where they could have had the lead and stuff. But everyone, at Kazowski's team, they had pretty good speed all day, and it was a really solid day for them. But I bet Kazowski just wishes they had just had one more spot. But they got up to second there at the end, and I feel like that they were pretty equal. But the 9 car and Kazowski would have loved to have had a chance to race it out, but that's not the way it played out, since it was. There wasn't really a late race restart. But anyway, it sucks for Kazowski coming up short, trying to get his second championship. This is his second championship appearance, and this is the closest he's come to getting a second championship. So that really sucks for Brad Kazowski. But overall, pretty decent day for Brad Kazowski and the 2 team. Finishing in third was Joey Lagano. Lagano just didn't have the speed at the right time. Like, early in the race, their Mustang was really fast, and anything went wrong for them. Like, at first, it was just him and Denny Hamlin dominating the race in stage 1, and then stage 2 was Chase Elliott, Brad Kazowski. But the things that caused some of these drivers, like, I don't know what really caused Denny Hamlin, I'm not sure. The thing that caused Brad Kazowski was his pit crew. Joey Lagano, he was just loose, and he did kind of make some mistakes, but Lagano, his pit crew was on it. Like, their strategy got us out of front there at the end, but the 9 seemed like he lit off there pretty good there, and that last one was able to go really fast, and then Lagano got another vibration there towards the end of the run, and they lost the turn, and it was a little free off of them, but they were close. Everyone executed, and they did their job for the 22 team, and that's what they should be most proud of, and also is how far they've come from the beginning of the season and to now as a team, because he had 2 wins and looked like a championship contender. Then the pandemic hit. He had no wins until just getting one at Kansas, and now competed for a championship, but came up short, just like his teammate Brad Kazowski and stuff. And there's a lot to be proud of. It's just, but I bet it stings for him not winning. Like I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt for Joe Logano. I kind of feel bad for him, because they won here early this year, and for some reason they just didn't win. That's weird, but yeah. But before the race started, I heard Lagano said that in these races, when you get to the championship 4, you can't lose, and you either win or you become stronger. But unfortunately, Lagano, he just got stronger today, and they learned a lot about themselves, and learned that they were capable, and they're capable of executing when needed to. They just need to go faster. But that was one thing. But I think overall there's a lot to be proud of throughout the season, like where they've come from, how much they've grown in the team, or especially with the crew chief swap in the beginning of the season this year, and without practice and stuff. Like, that was a pretty big hurdle they had to jump. So I feel like they've done a pretty good job through the playoffs to really come into their own. Like, that makes them really excited about 2021, I'm guessing, because they're starting way further ahead than they were this year, with the schedule being somewhat similar with limited practice sessions. And I bet Lagano feels a lot better going into next year than what he did this year, because a lot to be proud of, but you got to look at the silver linings. You need to be look at your mistakes and where you can be better, and it still doesn't take the pain away, but that's how you get how good you get, at least. So yeah, it really stings for Joey Logano, but they had a pretty decent run today at the championship. Him and Denny Hamlin were like what the drivers of the field in stage 1, but after that, I don't know what happened to him, especially Denny Hamlin. But yeah, overall Logano had a pretty good run, so that sucks for Joey Logano, but overall it was a pretty decent day for Joey Logano and the 22 team. Finishing in 4th was Denny Hamlin. They were a little off handling, but overall car speed, they just didn't have enough. Like their next best teammate was 10th, so an organization, they have to get off they have to get a little better, like especially on the short tracks. Like it seems like they were a little bit off all year on the short tracks, and that was all it had. That's for sure. Like Hamlin was pushing for everything he had. Like their Camry just didn't quite have enough today, and they ended up fourth. But they just needed a little bit of speed and handling, like just a little bit every lap for them. Like it was so small for them. Like at time they were pretty good, and maybe he had the fastest car, but it was like just a few laps here and there. They just needed a little bit more. Like obviously, this package in particular, they weren't great this year, and this was one of their better runs with it, but it just wasn't enough really. Like you gotta make sure you put your expectations kind of in check, in the sense of we didn't, our organization hasn't really been good here on the short tracks this year. Like it's kind of a learning period for them, but they put out their best effort for it. Like they had no mistakes today, did everything he possibly could, just had nothing there to go. But I think with their best teammate running in 10th and the other guys having two teammates ahead of our best one, just their car didn't have enough speed to go out there and compete. So that was all he had for Denny Hamlin. But that really sucks for Denny Hamlin, trying to go for his first championship. But no, Chase Elliott becomes a champion before Denny Hamlin, something I did not expect. But hey, things happen. Denny Hamlin could try again next year. Like he was my pick, but he had a good run while it lasted. But overall, pretty decent day for Denny Hamlin and the 11 team. But they seem that they're gonna learn from that for next year. Finishing in 5th was Jimmie Johnson. His final race, he gets a top 5. I'll take that from Jimmie Johnson. Like, it definitely feels good, for his final race to run well. Like, Big Ten full of friends were watching him, and, his family was clearly here. Like, he didn't have too much riding on it, but making sure that he had a good run, just because, he always plans to run well. Like, in my head, I always feel like, Jimmie Johnson, he should. But ultimately, this year's just a little bit bittersweet for him, and to have the issues they've had and not be competitive down the stretch, not make the playoffs, and all that stings. But to finish with the solid top 5 to close things out is nice. Like, because I have friends that have been, NASCAR fans, and friends of mine that have played, other sports, and I thought they wouldn't pay attention to NASCAR, but some of them, they actually pay attention to NASCAR. They heard of Jimmie Johnson, and they said that they like him, so that was funny here. But very few have had the opportunity to call their shot and say when they're done. Like some have had injuries, some were forced out, some sponsorship or opportunity passed them by, and I'm just talking about some like real other sports players, talking about leaving and stuff, like how Jimmy is and stuff. And either way, you're just watching them, there's a big void that Johnson's noticed, and I'm just thankful that that Johnson will not have that void. Like he was able to do it on his own terms, and was able to have the support from Ally, Rick Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports, to be able to step down when he wanted it, to my terms. Like I bet Johnson's thankful for that. I'm gonna miss the 7-time champion. He was clearly one of the greatest of all time, and it's gonna feel weird going into 2021 Daytona 500 not seeing 48 car having Johnson on it instead of have Bowman on it. But don't worry, I will be watching some all IndyCar next season, rooting for Jimmy, see how he does in IndyCar next year, and I'll still be a NASCAR fan, but I'll be an Alex Bowman fan next year, but I'll always be a Jimmie Johnson fan at heart. So Hendrick Motorsports has a new roster next year. It looks pretty good, so we'll see what happens for them. But overall, way to round out his career, Jimmie Johnson getting a 5th place finish in his final NASCAR full-time series season. Or start, whatever. Finishing in 6th was Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney had a pretty decent car, towards like the first stage, around then, like he was battling with Denny Hamlin at that one point, just trying to have his teammates, just battle it out in 1st and 2nd, while Blaney was hanging on in 3rd, trying to hold off the like Denny Hamlin and stuff and some other drivers. But and then I don't know what happened to Ryan Blaney, kind of fell off a little bit, but he still had a pretty decent race. So yeah, it was a pretty decent race for Ryan Blaney. He's gonna take this with Todd Gordon, and hopefully they can just see what they can do better for next year, because Ryan Blaney, that hasn't been the year he's been hoping for after having such a good regular season, but then not a good playoff season, but we'll see what happens for Ryan Blaney. Had a pretty decent day, finished 6th, so yeah, a pretty decent day for Blaney in the 12th team. Finishing in 7th was Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick, he's really good at Phoenix, but even though he did not make the championship for that really sucks for him. But he still had a pretty good run, finishing 7th, but yeah, I bet that really sucks for Kevin Harvick having 9 wins and not making the championship for competing for a championship. But yeah, we'll just see what next season has for Kevin Harvick. Hopefully he won't choke this time. I'm just kidding. But hopefully he doesn't mess up and doesn't make mistakes, and see what he can do better next year. Hopefully just get his 2nd championship. Like, really, I don't care, but I'm just trying to hype him up, even though he had a pretty decent season. But let's see what happens for Kevin Harvick next year, because no doubt Harvick, that this was his best season, even though he has no championship. But we'll see what happens for Kevin Harvick. He had a pretty decent race, and yeah, overall pretty decent race for Kevin Harvick, and he had a pretty decent season. Finishing in 8th is Matt DiBenedetto. Matt DiBenedetto, he will be having one more year with the Wood brothers, and he ended off 2020 with the good finish, a top 10 in 8th. So we'll see what happens for Matt DiBenedetto next year. I expect him to get his first career win, but who knows? Things might come into play. But yeah, overall pretty decent race for Matt DiBenedetto. He had a top 10 car, top 15 car, definitely. He had a pretty good handling car, but he couldn't challenge like the championship for. He didn't have that much of a good car. I mean, it's Wood Brothers Racing Equipment. I'm just kidding, but still overall pretty decent day for Matt DiBenedetto and the 21 team. And yeah, I can't wait to see what DiBenedetto can do next year. Hopefully get a win before having to see where he's going to be in 2022. Finishing in 9th was William Byron. William Byron had a pretty decent race as well. It sucks. I wish that the entire Hendrick Chevrolets all finished in the top 10, just for Jimmie, just for Chase. But William Byron got a top 10. He had a pretty decent race, Phoenix is an okay track for William Byron, not really his best. But I guess it's like, practice, trying to get the win and stuff. But really, guys, I don't know what to say about these other drivers that are not Jimmie Johnson or the championship 4 contenders. But overall, William Byron had a pretty decent day. Final race with Chad Canals as the crew chief. Let's see what Ruby Fugle can do to this 2014 next year in 2021. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall pretty decent day for William Byron in the 2014. And then finally rounding out the top 10 and 10th is Martrix Jr. Martrix Jr. had a pretty decent day. He missed the championship 4 last week due to a tire going out to end out the Martinsville race. So that really sucks for Martrix Jr. First time he has not made the championship 4 since 2016, I believe. So he had a 3-year stretch trying to go for 4, but could not make it happen. But hey, Trix had a pretty decent year. Well, actually not really a pretty decent year. Not really his best year. Only had 1 win, and that's not really Martrix Jr. from last year or the year before that or the year before that. But things change, so we'll see what happens to Martrix Jr. next year for that 19 team. But yeah, overall, he had a pretty decent race, and wow, only 2 Toyotas finished in the top 10. That is surprising, but yeah, overall, pretty decent race for Martrix Jr. Now let's rate the race. Yeah, this is a bit confusing. Got the regular top 10 finishers in the 1st and 3rd row, and the 2nd and 4th row got all Jimmie Johnson cars, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, now let's rate this race. This race it was a pretty decent race. It was definitely better than the truck race, but it was pretty exciting seeing all the battles and stuff. The battle at the end of the stage too, with Brad Kazowski and Chase Elliott, that was pretty fun, and seeing how things played out during the race, and seeing Jimmie run, the driver showing Jimmie Johnson, in his final race, that was pretty cool. I'd like to see that, for other drivers making their final starts, and I wish they kind of did that a little bit, with Matt Kenseth and Clint Bowyer, but I'm not really sure if they did. I didn't watch the full race, but hey, it was a pretty good race, and if I had to rate this race, let's end off this year with a high note. I'm going to give this 2020, season finale 500, I'm going to give it a 90, or actually 9 out of 10. It did have a bit of his dry moments, but you know what? Screw it. I'm going to give it 100%. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It was a great race. I got to see Jimmie, racing his final race. He got a top 10 or actually a top 5 to end it off, and then Chase Elliott is your 2020 champion, my 2nd favorite driver. So glad to see Chase Elliott, take the big trophy, and Jimmie Johnson in his final start get a 5th place finish. So I'd say this Sunday has been better than the other 2. The the rain at Texas, Jimmie not even finishing the race. Same thing with Martinsville. I don't know what happened to Jimmie, but overall, it was a pretty good season. I can't wait to see season 2, or actually do season 2 episodes, of 2021, because next year I'm going to be doing a full show and stuff. So yeah, I can't wait for that. But yeah, let me know what you guys would give this race in the comment section below. And now it's time to end it off, guys, and I'm just going to tell you a bit of my schedule. So after this, probably, I think on Friday or Saturday, I'll make, like, another tier list episode, but with the 2021 NASCAR schedule. And after that, I'm not really sure I'm going to make, probably, just, make some other videos. I'm not really sure what I plan. I'll see if I can do some other videos. I'm still really not 100% sure, but I know Christmas, I'll be having a Christmas special, showing all the stuff I got, the NASCAR diecast and stuff, but I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do during this off season. I'm probably not gonna be uploading as much, because I have to deal with school and stuff, so I gotta focus on that 100% now that I'm completely done with filming, or for the rest of the year. But I'm gonna be filming some one-off things, here and there. But yeah, maybe I'll do some other tier list videos, maybe rating my Truck Series favorites or my Xfinity Series favorites, so watch out for those, maybe, if I make those, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is it, the final episode of NRR Season 1. It was pretty good. Sucks I didn't get really the full season, because I still had to plan. I was thinking, what was I going to do for race reviews and stuff, since Race View Mobile we ended and stuff, so that really sucks. But hey, this was a pretty good show. Let me know what you guys think. Should I do this next year? Because I'm already planning on it. But would you guys watch this video? Leave your answer in the comment section below. But yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you so much, Jimmie Johnson. It's been a great last 5 years watching you race. Even though the last 3 years have just not really been the same, but 5 years watching this 48 car, he's been really great. So can't wait to see what he does in IndyCar. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll have my Instagram and gaming channel down in the description below. So yeah, alright guys, see you later. Have a good night. Peace out.